views and opinions expressed on Geeks Under the Influence are that of the panelists and not of our sponsors, Amazon.com and TeePublic. Parental discretion is advised.
Prince Adam, because he's Prince Adam in Eternia, is hanging out being like, I still have red in my ledger. Like he's still like needs shit that he has to like finish. And at no point does he ever ask, is there like a side exit or anything?
I can just dip out, but...
Well, and now he doesn't know what happened to everybody else, because as far as he knows too, everything else may have been saved and everything is honky-dory. He doesn't have to go back. Plus, Grayskull says it's unnatural for them to go through the door. So, I mean, you pick up the vibe, you know.
But you're saying Adam was like, yeah, you know what? I like being picked on by all the school jocks the rest of my life. I mean, because they call him fucking Flea, all right? So you're saying that in no time he's like,
man.
Is there any way I can get out of this, like, you know, locker room situation where y'all just pick on me the entire time?
Well, I think that it speaks volumes to kind of what Scotty and I were talking about earlier about how he's not done and how there's just him achieving his own peace wasn't enough for Adam because he is the only champion not to choose his champion form.
As quoted by Grayskull, heis the only champion to choose his lesser self.
His lesser self,
to be
exactly.
in Eternia.
Yeah,
which was totally a setup for that to be his greater self. But
duh.
But I also do think that him as Prince Adam is He-Man. When you have that much power, being put in a powerless position is probably something that's like sexually satisfactory for you. So I think him being called Flea and being like shit on by all these muscle beefcakes in Eternia, he's just like, yes, daddy. Like he's Prince Adam's like kind of into it a little bit.
Why?
Is this because of Kevin Smith? Is that why you're connecting some weird sexual reason
Did you
for
like
this?
whack off to your He-Man or something? I mean, it's okay if you did. I'm just curious as to why you went there.
This is the episode on He-Man, Revelation, which apparently I'm going to be sharing some revelations.
Yes, here we go.
We are going to be talking about the new series available on Netflix that is apparently, weirdly, a huge
flop.
Controversy.
Well, no,
controversy, the ratings are shit for it for some reason.
The critical ratings are in the 90s.
It's the personal reviews.
When I look at, I always look at the viewer. I can't stand the critics sometimes.
Well, the problem is that the viewer statistics are affected by people that are review bombing it, and which there's tons of people posting saying that they're actively trying to review bomb this show.
Why?
I would just say it's probably one of the more polarizing shows that have come out in the last year that I can think of.
It's like because this and Captain Marvel, I feel are two of the most polarizing.
But it's almost like where people have such grand expectations that if it doesn't match it, they're shitting on it, and then
it's fucking He-Man.
And that's what I'm
fucking He-Man, dude.
So I think people are shitting on it because it didn't do what they wanted to do.
It's got a cat called Cringer.
Yeah,
right.
Like fuck.
A Cyclops with 3 versions of his eyes called Triclops. Fuck yourself.
Right.
I mean, come on.
And even before the show was actually out, people were already trying to shit on it. Like, I remember seeing stuff where they were trying to call Teela a lesbian based on it. And it's just like, first off,
her haircut?
Basically, it's
what
all
the
that I
fuck,
can.
Man?
Well, first off, who gives a shit? But you see some of the trailer stuff, the preview stuff, you're like, oh, she's muff diving now. Dude, if you look at the original cartoon, she's probably been muff diving for a while.
Yeah.
So, who cares?
But not even,
I missed that episode.
My thing
She's
is,
been diving head first.
And now you know as I ride off with my speeder.
They can write a show and not make it sexual at all, too. That's the thing, too. The thing exists where you're just watching this awesome chick who was raised by the #1 fucking badass man-at-arms, blood lineage, training to be a fighter just like him. Oh, wait, now she's a badass and she's adult. Go fucking figure.
Also,
what the fuck?
They're
exactly.
mad about Teela possibly being a lesbian, and if you watch those old episodes of He-Man, that is one of the most homoerotic cartoons I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, not even just Teela,
Yeah.
all on the table.
There's a lot of dry humping.
Let me get this tank door open as he dry
Man at arms, come around my back and help me out.
Well,
I'm so sweaty right now.
Let's just get into the episode here.
Oh, I think we're into the episode.
Yeah, well, let's do the introduction so we can get into the beefy meat.
The beefy meat
that is Eternia.
Yes.
We're talking about He-Man Revelation. We'll be talking a little bit about the previous cartoons as well and the comic books, but we're going to be talking about the controversy, but also just our feelings on the show on this episode 219 of Geeks Under the Influence. Welcome.
Buildings at work and shall be again. A changing of the guards, the tides marching in. You think you can hold out, but you know you're wrong, so you better
We have the power.
First
That was-
correction. Masters of the Universe.
Sorry.
Revelations.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not He-Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Which
that
helps.
should
Should have been a fucking sign.
Yeah,
right
which
there.
helps the argument when people are like, there's not enough He-Man. It's like, well, he's on the fucking title.
The
Yeah,
original
that's
one was
simple.
called Masters of the Universe 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it's, I mean, the fuck.
Right. But when you buy the DVDs, I will say it is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe because they really push that on
The
people.
original show scrolled across the screen, said Masters of the Universe.
Listen,
Damn it.
motherfuckers,
Sorry.
True.
if you see George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton will be on stage. If you see Parliament Funkadelic, they have toured without George Clinton. That is part of the fucking game.
Truth.
Like, read the fucking title.
Right. And just to throw it out, and that's apparently where some of the controversy is sparking is that how the show was marketed.
Sure.
And
And
They definitely used He-Man a lot, but it was all from the
Ex-
first episode.
Right, exactly. Well, and that's what we're fanboys, but I'm going to say
What?
No.
Go figure, right?
yeah.
Have you listened to the show?
We're
It's-
all of the appropriate age to be obsessed with He-Man. Like,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
all-
Oh, yes.
Completely. Yes.
Absolutely.
100%.
But it's those specific groups of fanboys where you're just like, shut the fuck up and take it as it is.
Most people ready to be mad.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, as they are with Star Wars, as they are
Yeah,
with fucking
yeah.
Marvel.
Exactly.
It's those same fucking bitches. Like, all right.
Speaking of bitches, let's talk about the bitches on this episode.
I was getting ready to lay into it, but all right.
All right, well,
Just save it.
I'll
Save
throw,
it.
I'll throw it right
save
the
it.
fuck back to you after
Okay,
we're done with the
take
introduction.
deep breath in and get ready to release, brother.
First off, the Geek Father himself from Geekfathers, we got Scotty P here.
Hey, guys.
Happy to have you on.
It's been a while.
It
It's
has
hot
been a minute, yeah.
I did a Smack Butt pitch up earlier this summer, but
Yeah.
it's been a while for the flagship. So
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on,
And
man.
we just figured out how long it was when we were at VA Comic Con. It was like, God damn,
Yeah.
it's been that long? Jesus Christ.
no shit. Like my big joke is that I go on the rotation of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm doing GUI. I gotta get back on from the Mouths of Madness, from Beautiful Disaster. I gotta roll around. You know.
So Scotty P is here. Next to him is the gentleman that is the co-host on everything besides Geek Father and GUI.
Yeah.
I want the power of
he
the
has,
podcast.
He has the power. The gentleman that is carrying two parts of the power sword on two different podcasts. We've got Fuck You Hunter
What's up, bitches?
from the Mouths of Madness and Beautiful Disaster.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you were definitely a motivator for this episode, but primarily because you were so actively motivated on us doing a G.I. Joe Snake Eyes episode
Yes.
that
yes.
we held on for the last second on trying to do Snake Eyes, and literally nobody wanted to be involved in that one.
Yeah, there was a lot more chatter on Masters of the Universe than there was on Snake Eyes.
Was He-Man also Hasbro?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Mattel.
Oh,
No,
Mattel.
Mattel,
Correct.
Mattel.
So it was the Mattel versus Hasbro is what we were dealing
Yeah.
with. I remember that from the toys they made us, that they went to the fucking Barbie people for He-Man. They're like, cool, well, you can't use any of our molds, clearly.
Right.
Yeah.
Too many muscles.
They'd have no kicks.
And
Yeah.
it's weird just that you would have Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe property, and Masters literally come out the
same
same
time.
weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
All the toy nerds, and there were plenty at the con that we were just at, are probably like, man, this is my time.
Yeah.
And then Snake Eyes come out and they're like, for He-Man, no,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
He-Man, fuck.
Yeah.
What's
Yep.
I
happening?
only want to see He-Man.
All that fanboy rage is directed at the wrong thing right now.
You know, shit, right? Yeah,
So-
just
No, I'm focused, buddy.
avert your Snake Eyes to the Hasbro property.
I'm
Thank you.
focused.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Speaking of the one that is laser focused on his rage, my co-host on the show and helps me run the network here, my champion
Aw.
of GUI. That if we put each other next to each other, I'd be the Prince Adam, and he wouldn't be the He-Man version because they're like, no, this doesn't translate. You don't have the same haircut or like look
I
anything
see him as
like.
He-Man use Orko. I don't know. Like,
Oh.
Okay.
hey, He-Man,
okay.
look what I
So-
did.
Okay,
Orko
that's-
as all right. Orko is still a badass.
See?
okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Orko's a
love that
fucking
Orko
badass.
got proper fucking due in this series.
That's
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
yeah. That
Fuck.
I felt like he finally got the props that he deserved. And now he
Yes.
fucked up a lot, don't get me wrong, but also, okay, yeah, no,
He
you know what?
consi-
I am the Orko.
There you
Fuck
go.
it. Yeah,
He
you know, that's
consistently fucked up, but then they had that like one little scene where you're like, nah, dude, like, yeah,
He got it.
you got it.
I'm just still trying to figure out who's going to be wearing the loingcloth, though, based on your analogy.
I mean,
at
I
this
probably
point.
still will be.
Yeah.
wearing the
Okay,
loincloth.
fair,
Let's
But if
fair.
Adam had pants, please put on pants.
Purple pants.
So on everybody. So yeah, I'm ready to talk about some Masters of the Universe.
Miestas.
Miestas.
Me.
And we got last but not least, we got the man who, yeah, it's his fault.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
We did it all for you.
Oh, no.
It's all for you.
It's all for you,
It's all for you,
Hobbit.
Hobbit.
Yes.
That'll be all of you jumping off the second floor here after this episode, being like, "I'm done. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't do
No,
this."
we'll wait
I
till like
should've done
Halloween,
that.
so at least it matches the
Right, yeah.
decorations.
There you go.
I should have done that with that goddamn squirrel girl. Be like, it's all for you, Hobbit. And we all just got our knees.
Because it was
hands,
like
dude.
you hanging yourself.
Pretty
buying the
much,
Squirrel
yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. you are now proof that you have possessed girl squirrel in your possession.
I'm just trying to
Paid
stick
for
with-
it, carried it, and
Right.
delivered it.
I'm just trying to stick with my nickname, and I wanted to piss everybody else off
for
by
those
encouraging Squirrel Girl.
Unfamiliar,
No.
which is literally anybody that's not on the fucking network or wasn't there at our table at the con when it happened. Anybody that listens regularly knows that I have an obsession with Doreen Green, aka Squirrel Girl, and Hunter found a
Deluxe.
like Marvel Legends set of Doreen Green with her scooter and several squirrels in a collector set that he bestowed upon me in a ceremony, if
Yes,
you will.
yes.
It was
at
very
the table.
ceremonious.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was very sweet.
One day, a video will surface where he's actually taking it out of the box and he's playing with Squirrel Girl and he's like, I heard you were looking for a nut.
And then there's the parts we don't
You're
want to
saying
see.
one
of the
day
video.
like it didn't already.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah.
What do you think he was doing all day Sunday?
I mean-
I haven't seen the package anywhere.
His one
so.
forearm does look a little bit bigger.
I'm Mike the Hobbit Green. I took
Mike
her
the
name.
Hobbit Green. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all your
But yeah,
fault,
check
Hobbit.
out GUIPodcast.com for all the previous episodes of this show and all the access to the other shows in the network. Social media links are there as well. Rate, review, subscribe, all that cool shit that you do for podcasts. Tell your friends. It's going to be a good time, hopefully.
And we'll love
Moving
you for
forward. Yes, and we will love you for it. Absolutely.
it. Oh, ready to go.
So,
You're
Da-da-da.
ready.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
are
man.
all
ready.
these fucking people that just want to bitch about something like marketing on the trailer, like the full-length trailer actually showed a lot of stuff outside of the teaser, which basically just showed He-Man
Right.
kicking ass, mainly from the first episode.
Duh.
The trailer showed a lot more, and people also or people just don't know the man predominantly behind this. Kevin Smith's not an idiot. He knew that he couldn't just come out with rehashes of
No.
the original series. He knew
Right.
that, okay, I'm going to get you in by pulling in the old stuff,
Mhm.
get He-Man and Skeletor at it right out the gate, fucking, who's this fuck Beast?
Beastman.
Beastman.
Beast
yeah.
Man.
You got to remember how simple the names are
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
this
just
world.
add
You get all these,
Man.
you get all, you get every character that you knew. You get Cringer and Battle Cat, right? You get everybody, and then they're like, "Well, everyone's grown up. We're going to spend time around all these other characters and not just fucking He-Man."
Yeah.
Again, like we were, because in our pre-talk, if you will, this is Masters of the Universe Revelation, which means shit is going to happen that normally doesn't happen.
Yeah.
B, us, I know all here and basically GUI family are Kevin Smith fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact of, and he's even said it in interviews, I was fortunate enough to see him in Jersey a couple weeks ago, and he admits it that he's like, if I didn't do this project, someone else would have.
Yeah.
He did not, I think he only had writing like afterwards, like just to nitpick a few things. He's executive producer. He didn't write. He didn't do the initial
No, it
producing.
says written by in the beginning. Yep, and
Does the first- okay,
It
did
says
he-
written by.
Oh, the first one.
The first
okay.
one, yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's pulling you in.
So he's head writer, but he definitely isn't the only person.
Yeah, he's not
writing
the only
this
Right,
person.
this
show.
project
there's other
still
writers,
would have
First
happened
one.
without him.
Yeah.
And very much the same vein that it is now.
Mhm.
So it's
But see, the nice thing is that you go in and you're like, okay, it's Kevin Smith. I was just waiting for like Beastman and Merman to like compare their cock size or something like that. And no, it's actually a well drawn out story. And Kevin Smith puts hints
that's
in there,
my point.
but it's not, again, the Kevin Smith humor that we've all.
I don't
grown
know.
up-
There are some good one-liners, but
and
there are, but it's not what you would get
Exactly,
from Clerks
though.
and
Right.
Mallrats.
But you're exactly on it. No, it is what it is. What it is. Like he didn't try to reinvent the wheel. He just wanted to expand what was already there. The writing is not like the dialogue is by no means stellar. It's simple. It's just
As
now
it
we're
should
seeing
be.
the world outside of just Adam's world.
right.
That's all. That's really all we got. Was we got this whole. We know there's a whole world, Eternia, there that we never really got to see that much unless you traveled somewhere. Now we're seeing how everything's affected and connected.
I did think it was a little bit gauche, and like I liked it for the most part, but it
What
was
does
a
gauche
little
mean?
bit gauche means like a little.
Is that what the kids are saying these days?
Yeah, I
no,
think
that's
so.
what like 70-year-olds say. I think.
Yeah.
is
Oh,
gauche.
so I'm in between. Cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not behind. I'm not ahead. That's what's up.
But
There
there
you
was
go.
that moment where they're heading towards Subternia, and they pass by Eternia stop, and there's Beastman and Merman hanging out in front of it trying to sell weed to everybody in Eternia. I thought that was a little bit unnecessary. It was a little bit self-celebratory. It wasn't necessary.
Right.
And Man-at-Arms like, let me get a dime bag. It's like $15.
Little man.
Man-at-Arms man.
Man-at-Arms man, yeah.
Yeah. But the whole point of this is that this is, and it's been mentioned just even here, this is supposed to be a continuation. We are seeing things that weren't there before. The world has been finally expanded, because if you go back and watch the old cartoons,
that's what I'm saying. There was you
go
were
back,
limited.
You have your childhood memory, but then you're like, where's all the other shit that they've always talked about? This show fucking has it.
I'd kind of put this as the same way I look at Red State, and that it's a Kevin Smith movie, but it's not a Kevin Smith movie. I look at Kevin Smith's involvement with this show same way as Red State, where he's kind of giving it direction, but he's not putting his stamps all over it. He wants it to flow.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And everybody's approaching this, first off, like this is the end of the story. Like, it's not spoilers at this point. Anybody has gotten the spoilers thing, that there's like God King Skeletor. I don't think that's how they're ending this fucking story. This is
No
part
way.
one.
How are they going to defeat God King
Right.
Skeletor?
But secondarily, like, this is not the first time that you are better able to explain the environment surrounding a hyper-powered hero by removing them from the story. Fucking Justice League took out Superman.
True.
Fucking
Yeah.
Titans, the series Titans did the same thing with fucking Batman.
Yeah.
Batwoman did the same thing. Like, time and time again, there's been so many stories told about what happens when the most powerful person, fucking Watchmen, the series Watchmen, when Doc Manhattan disappears, what does the rest of the world do? This isn't new.
And that's
The idea of taking out the fucking superpowered people that are the ones that are really controlling shit. What happens to everybody else? I love that story, because that's what expands Eternia.
No,
That's what all the mythos of all these characters that were only fucking side characters that were to sell action figures now actually get backstory.
exactly, and that's it just builds on what we started talking about. Like, it couldn't be they weren't writing old hat, man. Like, oh, he gets foiled again. Oh, blasted He-Man. No, now he's got the fucking power. He has the sword. That's how they change it. The villain actually wins for a second, like, and he gets what he wants, right?
Yeah. Well, and they even have that one line of which one was it Lockjaw or somebody saying it's not just a plan being failed over and over again, essentially by Skeletor. We're moving on. We've done this.
It was all part of the plan
And
to the very last scene.
Oh, I loved all the villains like shitting on Skeletor.
Oh,
Yeah,
basically,
great.
and they've what they've done is even pulled beyond, like, what I love is that the stuff that they've pulled from the mini comics from the original toy line
Yeah.
is what they've been doing, which is superb.
I love how they snuck in what seemed like Cronenberg in the second episode with the, get away from the flesh and embrace the mechanics.
flesh?
The
The
motherboard.
I literally, like, they're like, you don't need this flesh.
what
You
was
need
it
to be
they say?
mechanical.
It was like, hail motherboard. No, hail the Holy Sprocket. The
yeah.
Holy
Holy
Sprocket.
But it turned kind of like weird, like, get rid of your flesh and embrace this mechanics and technology.
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah.
something that was always part of the original series, but wasn't really focused on. The fact is that this is a very heavily fantasy element environment, but
For
there's
sure.
hardcore technology that's
Yeah.
happening at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah, we always just
Yeah.
kind of accepted that.
It's
Like,
techno fantasy, which there's very little of. Like in cartoons or film or in series, there's not a lot of
Right.
techno fantasy. So, fuck, if you have the king spot on techno fantasy, use it. Like, really play with that world.
well, it looks like Triclops was taking advantage of the fact that, magic's running out. Motherfuckers are going to the, well, and it's like little drops. So, like, hey, you can trust this magic that's fucking dying everywhere, or join the machines. We got shit going, man. We'll repair your shit. You got new arms, new
He
legs.
didn't approach it exactly like that, but I
But
get
it was
what you're
like
saying.
a cult following. Yeah, but like a cult following.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like,
Oh, yeah,
like
very much so.
metalheads and punkers that start playing electro.
Yeah.
Like, get away from tube amps
Yeah.
and
Yes.
join the fucking
Join
Pro
it.
Tools.
Is that like
With
when
a
they added
synthesizer
synth
in
to
it.
80s music?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's but I,
No, that's when Iron Maiden added synth to.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the dark
Yeah.
days, so to
Yeah,
say.
Those are the
don't-
Triclops.
we
days.
don't
But,
talk about that.
I just
Yeah.
did. What?
Damn it. But shit, I was gonna say something else.
Aha!
God damn it.
Fucked you up.
But I was gonna say, because I really, I did this before, but really, like, getting ready for the episode, I really explored some of the origins of where the stories came from. Because, again, if you don't know, this started out as the original cartoon was a ploy to sell toys, was all it was.
So it was G.I. Joe. So it was
all
that
the
shit.
main plots were actually in those mini comics that came with the toys, not in the cartoon. And I thought it was, again, a good touchback because you mentioned how it's the techno fantasy. The origins of Eternia was actually any technology was eons old, and people were found it, and like Man-at-Arms were the only ones that could control it.
Yeah.
So that's where the good crossover happened.
This isn't the first attempt to reboot Masters of the Universe.
No, they did it like in the 90s.
But here's the thing.
Well, this is not a
yeah,
reboot.
all those,
2001, I want to
yeah,
say.
all those attempts
they did in
didn't really.
2001 too?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
Well,
like
a
three.
cartoon,
There's
yeah.
like three different ones.
All those attempts didn't really work till DC reached out and they started they started working on comics, and that's where people were actually getting into the comics because they were going with more adult themed like storylines,
Right.
and people went, "This is what I want. I don't want a rehash of the '80s animated shit. I want more of your fan base has
darker,
matured.
Yeah.
Let's
darker,
move with that."
But it's still not. I don't really. When I watched it, part of what I loved about it was that I feel like I was still getting the same thing, but not old hat the way of telling it. So I don't feel like it was more. I don't really feel like it was that much more mature. Like the story's mature, but the way they're telling the story, I don't feel was more mature.
I mean, the beats of just the relationships. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought that was much more mature than what you would ever have dealt with. in
maybe
the
all
original
right.
show.
So I can see mature as society has evolved because they wouldn't have had a
I'm just talking
family
about-
squabble of telling you, "Oh, you're lying to me," and
I'm
this
talking
and
about
that.
character interactions. Most of the
Yeah,
time, you spend maybe 30 seconds on that. Here you have characters kind of confessing things to each other and building up. I mean, like you get, like we said, what's his name, Little Magic Man. You get a whole backstory about how his whole
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. The story's matured.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah.
and what they've done is, because again, even though the stories have been rebooted, this is a sequel
Yes.
to the original series, which is
Yeah.
great because apparently there is a reboot happening as a separate entity.
Yeah, well,
like
fuck
separate
me.
project.
a kid's version
Or
of,
so-
of He-Man.
yeah,
Like, it's
something.
more kid focused.
But
okay.
This is for our age group.
Kevin
exactly.
Smith
Well,
again. He writes
but
it for
like-
his audience.
But like what you had mentioned in this sequel, because of you taking out certain essentially characters for the plot, it's not just Stinkor going, "I created a stinky bomb for Castle Grayskull," and that's all you see of him, like 2 minutes in the original cartoon.
Oh, he was so nasty in this though.
Oh yeah, but
Oh,
and it was Jay
was so
Muse
quick,
too.
though.
That
It was
was
so
that was
quick.
Stinkor. That's what made it really funny to
Well,
me.
no, Stinker
But-
only had to be in there that long.
Oh.
Like,
Right.
No
no,
reason.
no, I know,
But-
but it was just so gross. Where he's just like, oh, fuck,
but
man.
you still got
That's
more.
what you want, man.
You still got more out of Stinkor in that one couple scenes than you did the whole original show.
No, I agree.
Which
Agree.
is great. Like the robust storytelling compared to the original one is beautiful. I
Yeah,
think
I agree.
I'm loving it.
Well, that comes from somebody that is a fan of the comics and the cartoons that recognizes because they were trying to sell so many toys,
Oh, for sure.
they created this unintentional mythos that is so underexplained and so vast
And for years untouchable.
and untouchable. And so if you create a story where you're finding a way to incorporate all these characters that already fucking exist. Like we were talking outside before that Scareglow wasn't in the original.
He was only
run.
a toy.
He was only a toy. So why not get Tony Todd to voice
Yeah.
him
Make
and put him
him a
in,
scary motherfucker.
and put him in
Yeah.
basically Eternia hell
Yeah.
to feed on people's fear. Fuck, that's rad as shit.
If somebody can be just that download dirty creepy like that whole scene, like that
Oh, yeah.
voice, it's so good, so good. It was so
And-
like I don't want to you don't ever feel creepy generally from a cartoon, but like
But Tony Todd,
it's Tony Todd, dude.
Tony Todd's got the chops.
He
yeah,
does. He's got the chops.
I do love how the first episode starts and you're like, okay, so we're just pretty much staying with the same beats. And that's where end of the first episode, they go, no, we fucking killed some motherfuckers.
Right.
Like, right there, you're like, oh, because you just expect Skeletor's going to fail, He-Man's going to win. I've seen this before. It's following all the same beats. And they're like, no, they're just a little burnt area where they used to be.
fuck.
Well-
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
That first episode, as great as the other ones have been so far, that first episode was probably the most emotional because the secret is out.
Oh, and Lita is pissed.
Oh my
Lita,
god.
well, the mother knows.
She's lied to the
Like,
husband.
well-
She's lied to.
Well, she never officially knew. She suspected.
Oh,
But
she
she-
fucking knew.
But she knew.
that bitch knew.
Yeah.
Fucking knew.
Good luck. I
Fair.
hope He-Man shows up. Wink, wink. She fucking
Right.
knew.
But they
All right.
foreshadowed the fuck out of it as well. Like when he's like, come on, people, listen to your king and queen. And she just looks back at him and goes, oh, shit. You know, it's like she knows. She fucking
Because
knows.
she reacts as soon as, like, you know, she finds out. She already knows.
Right.
And,
And
King's
she's
like,
telling
where's my son?
Dillhole King going, your fucking son is a...
My
God
son
damn.
The
works.
king
Yeah.
is a fucking dick.
Right.
First off, like, first episode out the gate, they're like, there's a few things that people have been, like, blue-balled about since the original series, which is Skeletor winning once, like,
Right.
needs to happen occasionally,
Right?
like, at least temporarily. And then also, like, people discovering his identity, that kind of stuff. And they were like, you know what? We're going to let you come. We're gonna let you, like, have those moments of, like, Teela being like, oh, fuck, it's Prince Adam. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then, like, also, what happens when Eternia realizes that their fucking hero lost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, now, granted, he took out the bad guy too,
We also took out the magic.
but he also took out
Right.
fucking magic. Like, that was such a fucking, like, soul-dropping moment. The viewer and also for fucking Eternia, that was way more emotional, like, response than I've ever gotten from the original
For
cartoon.
sure, yeah.
And that was in one episode.
Right.
Like, the first
That's
episode.
what I was gonna say.
episode.
Exactly.
But-
King's reaction was like, what do you mean? Like,
I will say.
My son!
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's like, no.
He's like,
No.
you're fucking done.
Well,
You're
also,
fucking out
how
of here.
dumb is he? Like, how did he
Well,
not?
especially he pulls that one line earlier in the episode where he's like, I hope to say something great about my son one day, as he's talking to his son.
There are
You
only
fucking
two people
dick.
that have the page boy cut, and it's He-Man and his son. And He-Man's not taking fucking beauty notes from Prince Adam.
Right,
So-
exactly.
Hello.
We were just going back to the Superman mythos.
Yeah, yeah,
Glasses makes
Yeah,
him not
yeah.
Superman.
Yeah. Oh, he
you know.
combs his hair one way and combs his hair the
Yeah.
other way.
Purple
It's like-
tights or
it's like to the, it's like
loincloth,
to the right if he's
whatever.
Superman and to the left if he's Clark Kent.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Get
So
the fuck
yeah,
out of here.
you can get away with that and
Yeah, but
without
at least in this cartoon,
questioning.
they made
Kyle's
Prince
corrected
Adam.
me somewhere. On
They
that.
made Prince Adam like kind of gangly, whereas in the original, he's like a brick shit.
Oh yeah, no,
He's the
right.
same
The
size.
toy,
Yeah.
the toy
He's
is
the
literally
same size.
literally He-Man with the white and purple
he
shirt
just
on.
doesn't have the leather daddy look
Yeah.
going for him. Is all.
And I will say, at least I like how they made him like fucking ginormous. I don't know what the animators were, but it definitely reminds me of like manga style, like Ninja
Right.
Scroll.
Well,
Actually, the animator was Rob Liefeld.
No.
That did.
Because he didn't have
Oh,
tits.
geez.
He didn't have to.
Yeah, he didn't have
but I mean, it
tits,
reminds me
yeah.
of like the Castlevania style artwork.
That's why you never saw
You know.
He-Man's feet.
It reminds me. It reminds me of
He
the.
did when he was riding Battle Cat.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah,
you.
right.
It reminds me when they first introduced Bane in the
They were in
comics,
stirrups, motherfucker.
where when he would inject the venom, it would
would
make
just
him
get
like triple
fucking
muscles.
huge.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Right.
how they did He-Man. It's like a shitload of
But
venom.
then it
in
made
his
sense. We
system.
saw all the other champions like, oh no, all you motherfuckers. Okay, you
Yeah.
all are big.
Like the
Right.
scene Exhibit came out. I was like, oh, you like muscles? I'm putting muscles on these muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. But I will say that with the growth of the characters, we already knew that Man-at-Arms, he was one of the biggest side characters that got a hell amount of actual play as far as for the
Yeah.
fighting scenes. But holy shit, that had, outside of Lita, because I want to get, we definitely need to touch on her, but like
Right.
the growth in the storyline for Man-at-Arms was beautiful. I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was
Well,
soul
showed him as a
wrenching, dude.
Father.
Yeah.
Like as a realistic
Like he was on his knees
father.
crying, like,
Yeah.
my love, like please,
Like,
would-
I'm so
oh.
sorry.
But he's this dude that will literally do flips and shoot you in the face with lasers.
Right. Well, you're also talking about a man that not only balanced the secret of He-Man,
He was
Was-
protector of Adam, right?
protector of Adam, and protector of the royal family. And the some of that origin story stuff I told you, he was one of the few people that could do technology in a magical
Mhm.
world. He and the original episodes, he would be like, I have a new invention. It just so happens it fit the story for whatever Skeletor was up to, of course.
Mhm.
And then he's sitting there raising a daughter to be like him, knowing who the daughter's real mother is,
Yeah.
but sitting there going, sorry, you're an orphan, but I'll love you like my own.
And
So
what's fucked up is
This one time I fucked a bird woman, and
Basically.
that the disgrace he felt of how when he actually realized when Lita, as Lita was an adult, like what he had been doing to her because her and Adam were best friends.
are you
And-
saying Lita?
Tila.
Tila.
Sorry, Tila.
I was about to be like, we're not talking about Lita Ford over
No,
here.
no.
Okay.
But the disgrace that he
Yeah,
felt
you
from lying
are.
to Tila and how much he hurt her Not to mention the disgrace he felt from like a job perspective of like the king banishing him.
Right.
So you see that when he finally goes when they pick him up and he goes out to help them, he's using his fucking helmet as a fruit basket.
Yeah.
That's where he's at. That's where he's at. He's using his helmet as a fruit basket.
I do love that. He drops a fucking fruit.
But no,
like,
like,
time to get to
just
business.
think
And he
about
does
a man
have a
like
man
him.
bun.
Just think about a man like him and the pride he has, and he's using his helmet as a fruit basket. Like that's where that's
Dude, the motherfucker built a robot.
yeah.
Like
He built out of his own
working
mentality.
Robot. I know they
Right.
have mechanical shit throughout this world, but he built a fucking robot.
An AI.
Yeah,
An
an
AI.
AI
Yeah.
with his memories.
When he dies, is like, I feel fear, and people are like, cool. And he's like, no, like this is the greatest thing. It's
Yeah.
like, I am more than just a robot. I'm a miracle.
It was tell him that he created a
Fucking
miracle.
awesome.
It was
Yeah.
tell him that he created a miracle.
Also, this world is full of like muscly beefcakes, like men and women, like either way.
All around, yeah.
But man, can somebody like get a stylist to make them realize that just take off your fucking helmets, because like everybody that took off their helmet was suddenly like incredibly hotter. Like Tila took off her little fucking headband thing, took her hair out of a bun.
Right.
And then I was like, oh fucking like
Oh, the
he fucking-
witch.
I know
Evil
where you're
Lynn.
going with.
even Evil Lynn. Evil Lynn
Damn.
was just like,
that
you
gray
can,
hair. Yeah.
you can
girl.
fucking curse me as long as I come before.
I mean,
Like, that's-
Evil Lynn with
that's
that
fucking
with that
incredible.
white ass hair, and then Lena Headley as
Lena
the
Headey
voice.
also.
Lena Headey.
Oh,
She knows how to.
fuck.
She knows how to be
Fuck.
evil and make you like get a hard on at the same time.
No
With her
doubt.
voice,
I never
No
thought I
doubt.
would hear Evil Lynn say bollocks. All right, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
throw it out there.
That's
There's a
true.
part where she goes bollocks. I'm like, did that fucking happen? Really?
that totally
Also,
happened.
I love they called attention to how fucking stupid her name was. Where
She's like, yeah,
it
I was Lynn, and
well,
then
yeah, I was named Orko because I was supposed to be Oracle and I didn't say it right, which also was fucking
Oh,
brilliant.
that was so
Yeah, that was so
heart-wrenching,
awesome,
man.
dude.
God.
And then it's like, is that why your parents
good.
named you like Evil Lynn? And she's like, oh no, I added the evil later. And it's like, oh, so you're just Lynn.
Yeah, you're just,
No, and the
Watch out
fact that
for Sorceress Lynn.
the fact that Skeletor calls her Lenny later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lenny.
yeah.
But what that suggests is that Evil Lynn, at one point when she was in like fucking 8th grade, listened to Bauhaus once.
Yeah.
And went, I'm Evil Lynn now. And they're like, well, it's better than last week when you were like Dark Shadow Stormcloud or whatever fucking goth name you came up with.
she has the most turnaround, I think, in the of the
Oh,
character.
sure.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, because
Where she's like hesitant when Skeletor shows up.
But at the end, she's like, I was just beginning to like you guys.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think there's
There's going to be some play there for
No,
sure.
I know.
Oh yeah, without
she
a doubt.
sees the odds, and there's a gigantic fucking Skeletor. Yeah, fuck you guys. I'm back on the team I want.
Prince Adam just got slapped around twice.
Mm.
You know, so it's yeah.
Well, and the same thing's going to happen with a lot of his minions when they come into part 2, where you're going to have Triclops and Beastman and people kissing the ring a little bit.
Beastman
Oh, yeah.
literally was like, you're back? Cool. And he just
No,
walks over.
because
Yeah,
There's no, like,
He's like,
kind of.
I know my place.
Yeah, he's like, cool.
He-
come over.
he's in love with Evil Lynn, but that's from the original show. That hasn't stopped. That's
Right.
the only reason why he follows Skeletor is because of her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and he's a simple
His
man,
goal
if
is
you
to
will.
protect her.
But you think he would be like, no, fuck this. I'm going to fight against him, not kill this Skeletor motherfucker so I can get my female. But he's like, nah, I see what the right on the wall. Fuck it.
As we're talking about the names of these characters, I'm like, really? Is this the show you want to die on a hill about? That it didn't do it right because Tila got too much time. Tila's the only normal name person in this entire fucking show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you've got Evil Lynn, Beastman, Gillman, Merman.
Gilman.
That's a
We're not talking about The Office. Not
Yeah, yeah.
Gilman.
Well, I'm just saying
Gray
Merman,
Skull.
which is a joke in Zoolander, but also a
or
character in
Moss
He-Man.
Man, which
Yeah.
was a great usage of that character.
Yes.
Fucking
Fuck,
brilliant.
I could
Yes.
go on and on about. I was talking about Moss Man earlier.
That was a great scene when he sets him on fire. That's that shot.
Oh my god!
Like I said, the animation was
Well-
that's another thing that improved drastically.
Best way to show the stakes right out the gate is that you kill some motherfuckers and damn.
That lives
Right,
and is
damn.
what that lives and is a
Fuck.
protector of Grayskull as well. Like
It's weird.
Yeah.
'Cause some people bitch about the animation, and I don't know what they want because I thought the animation was exactly on point. I didn't think
Yeah.
I agree.
it was. I don't think it was invincible like detailed completely, but I didn't think it was too
Well, it was a
abstract.
completely different
Yeah.
style animation.
well,
and
it was
that's
what I'm
the
updated.
thing.
Some people are like,
Updated is the
oh,
only
the
way I can
animation was
explain it.
lazy. No, it wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
It was the style.
It was clearly computer drawn, and maybe that's what they're pissed about, that it's not like hand drawn animation. But fuck, dudes, do you want a part 2 in 4 years, or do you want it
Yeah.
in 6 months? Because
Right.
that's what we're looking at here, and everything's done. It was a little shinier than I liked.
It was shiny. Yes.
It was a little
Sure.
shiny, but that's a minor thing. It didn't affect my appreciation.
You can
of
definitely
No,
pick out where
yeah.
they had some CGI effects that are like, just have the computer do it. We're not even gonna do cell animation. Like,
Right.
just put it in there.
Oh,
they
there
won't
were
fucking
a
know.
few where I'm
the
like-
boat, and like the different like ships and stuff like
Is
that.
like is Eternia in the reboot universe? Is that what's happening now?
Oh, well, speaking of the animation where you definitely saw some difference, but it worked, how much did you love them bringing in the original vehicles?
Yes.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
for all the bad guys.
You,
Yeah.
could, you could see the difference on the in the shot
But it
when that
worked.
came in.
That was the whole
and
thing.
how
it worked for the shot.
impractical those are. Some of them are. You're like,
Yeah.
Don't remember
Why?
seeing
Yeah.
the tank that had
Yeah.
the feet. Do you remember the tank that had the feet from
Yeah,
the
but I
Yes.
didn't see that.
I didn't
either,
see
yeah.
that either. Well,
Well,
maybe
there's
they're
still
saving
part
that for
two.
Part 2,
There's
yeah.
still part 2,
Yeah.
so you
So is
never
this a
know.
limited series, by the way? I don't think it was released. Or was this like an ongoing? What
no,
is this?
it's as far as I know, because of the other reboots that are happening from Mattel and stuff. I think after part 2, done.
Oh, fuck me.
Which sucks because oh man, talk about
I could
a
be wrong.
rich-
Hopefully,
That would
but
suck.
the rich world was there for the taking, and nobody had
Yeah.
done shit with it ever. And Kevin Smith and crew came in there and went, "Wait, yeah, okay, let's create different tiers of Eternia and let's explain
Yeah.
all this shit." And they did it in 2 hours.
Yes. Yes.
2 fucking
I'll
hours.
just say this: you obviously want your show to get a huge amount of like positive reception, but the next level is what's happened with the show, which is a lot of passion both ways. And guess what? That makes people want to watch it either
Yeah.
way. So
Right.
if you're not going to get 100% people going, the show is fucking badass, then you have at least this where it's, I love the show, fuck the show, and people go, well, I need to fucking watch it. So you
bad
say there
press
might
is
not
still
be,
press.
you
We
say there
actually
might
had
not be
this
a second
conversation.
season, but
We had this conversation at work about people complaining about, and I still don't understand how they're saying they're saying it's woke, and I'm like, again, that's why I brought up my original comment about like, wait, so they focus on a character who was raised by pretty much the most badass non-champion human in Eternia, and she grows up to be a badass.
It's-
how does that not compute?
Well,
it's real
right.
simple.
she has a vagina,
Yeah.
so
That's
again,
about it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was
that's
gonna
it.
say.
still raised by one of the badass killers in Eternia to be also a badass
but I'm
killer.
sorry,
Lowdown.
did being raised by a badass give her a penis? No, then that's why she's woke.
It's honestly, you got
that's
three,
exactly
you
it.
got three
It is.
female characters that are the main characters after the first episode. That's all you need. That's how simple people
There were
go.
people
Who else were they gonna get? What else? Who? They all were bad. Who else? Oh God!
There were people that called Atomic Blonde woke because it was literally a lady action movie.
Yeah.
Or
Was
fucking-
anybody complaining about Columbia being woke or Haywire or any other fucking?
If it came out now, yes,
God,
Probably.
100%.
Yeah.
fuck all of you fucks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Basically.
It's so fucking dumb.
I remember the first
Yeah.
time I
That's
watched.
the worst reason in the world.
I remember
not
the
to
first time I
watch
watched
something.
Alien and just yelling at the screen. Oh,
Yeah.
so woke. Like,
Bro,
and
fuck
Alien.
you, fuck
Well,
you, Laurie Strode. How
that-
dare you attack Michael Myers?
Right.
back?
That was my whole point where the show hadn't even been released, but because there was any indication that it wasn't just He-Man. Now, you could be like, hold on, He-Man's not the main character. Let's see what happens. No, people were like, fucking Tila's a dyke, bro. What?
Yeah.
And all this is online.
What?
They were
Are
like,
you serious?
we start talking about it. Someone's like, "Oh, I didn't know that dropped. I didn't know that was a thing. I want to watch it." And then someone looked it up and like, yeah, there's all this shit on the internet about all this controversy. I'm like, it's fucking He-Man.
Right. Well, it's,
It's
not,
Space
but
Wizards.
it's Masters of...
It's Masters of the Universe.
There is not one single episode of that of Revelation that doesn't have He-Man in it.
Right.
But
True.
no,
He's in
it's
every-
Masters of the
or
Universe.
Prince Adam or
It's
He-Man is in
space
every
wizards
single
and
fucking
technology in a fantasy world. Like, why? Why? Why
Right.
are we?
one. There's a fucking ghost wizard in this show.
Yes.
Like, what are you? Why? What? Like, why are you that concerned about? That's even with the Star Wars stuff. And granted, I have opinions about like the prequels and the original, and then the Disney stuff and everything, and some stronger and weaker ones. But at the end of the day, it's fucking space wizards with laser swords. Like, you've got to know where to fucking
Yeah.
like
You draw. There's a line,
chill
dude.
out a little
There's
bit.
a fucking line, and it's just like calm the fuck down.
You are so worried about a very muscular man in a loincloth and whether or not he'll be around to help the
His
other people.
name is He-Man.
right.
and you talk about woke. Before they, them was He-Man. Like, he was using fucking that format before Twitter did.
Yeah.
True.
What do you call me? You call me he/man.
Yeah.
That's what I
Recognize
go by.
me.
That's my
as
preferred
He-Man.
pronouns. Please follow.
Preferred
Yeah,
pronouns is He-Man. That might be the name of the episode.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
I go by either
he/man.
he/man.
That's it. That's it. Because it's just so. It's like, do you have nothing in your life that you're like? And the thing is, like, if I could at least like understand what they were trying to say, but like, I don't. What is woke about that? What is woke about that?
Literally, it's that they're oil covered beefcake bondage.
Say the whole
loincloth,
say the whole
dude.
quote, please. I know the.
Oh no! Like I would have to look that up to get the
Okay.
whole fucking
Look,
thing. But
It's a reboot. You have female characters in the lead roles. Some people feel like that's just forced, and that's not how it would have been written if it wasn't for the situation we're in, and can't accept. No, that's how the direction of the story went. It has
Do you
nothing
realize
to
the
do.
guy who's like the main writer and has a crew has been doing it since the 90s, right?
Yeah, that's what. But that's what I'm saying.
Did they
there is
realize
no
that? It's not like it's a new.
from society pushing them.
Some people have had not the revelation that females can be a strong lead.
Let's see what you. Let's
See what I did there.
this is what I put on on Geek League of America, which is a page I
It's
follow
so
on Facebook.
good. So good.
And I'll just read the final part, not my whole fucking diatribe, but I can't wait for part 2 where He-Man is Prince Adam for most of the episodes, and toxic fans flip out because they don't care about Prince Adam. They just wanted their loincloth muscle daddy to smack around the bad guys more. I get it. A bulging, oiled-up beefcake wrestling furries and a goth wizard might have been a gateway for some of us to explore our sexualities later in life, but don't blame Kevin Smith for wanting to inject more plot.
Yes.
Nice. Well done.
Exactly. That's the one I was talking about earlier, where I was like, copy paste. I mean, because that's
like, what do you have to work with? He's like, I have all this information that I can create more mythos with, or muscle guy beats fur man. Like,
Right.
What the animated show is.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
all
there's
it is.
no
Yeah.
groundbreaking episodes of the original series,
Nope.
all right?
He-Man doesn't try to get Tila off of Oxycontin. Like, there's no like fucking after school special.
Man-Arms has
episode.
to have a discussion about abortion with, you know what I mean? Like,
Man-at-Arms like
Right.
talks to He-Man about his steroid usage.
Skeletor has to take
Oh,
Evil into
jeez.
abortion clinic. Yeah, like we don't have those episodes, all right?
All right, and that's a good place for us to go on our break. We're a little overdue, but
Evil
yeah,
Lynn going to the abortion clinic? Yes.
that's not the name of the episode. But we'll be back in just a minute. Take a listen to some of the other shows in the network that you can take a listen to at GUIPodcast.com. We'll be right back with sponsors, what we're drinking, Drunken Scene, and more Masters of the Universe talk.
Yes.
There
Yes.
you go.
Yeah.
I
Good
even
job.
fucked up.
It'll
job.
be a revelation.
Scotty feels the need.
There it is.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're gonna fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
Embrace the madness.
My name is Amy Bogard,
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
and we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here. That's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
We're back for the second half of Geeks Under the Influence, all things Masters of the Universe. Almost fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into our conversation on this new series on Netflix, let's talk about our sponsors, the ones that help us get a little bit of cash so we can buy new equipment and support our booze that we enjoy on this show. First up, of course, is Amazon.com. Fuck Jeff Bezos. The way to stick it to the man is by supporting Amazon, but then through our link at GUIPodcast.com so that we
That'll
get
show
some of the money that that Jeff Bezos doesn't get to keep.
Teach him a lesson.
That'll teach him.
Yeah.
I
That'll
don't
teach
know.
him how to make a dildo.
I don't even know how to do the
space.
fucking Amazon ads anymore, especially after he shot himself to fucking space.
And it's-
Right.
and a
I
big,
just do it like
dong.
nothing is different. He's not in space.
Ultimately, we all know that he's fucking evil and Amazon has some issues and shit. But if you are going to shop through Amazon, if you don't, cool, no fucking problem. No, like, respect. But if you do, because of necessary evil, convenience, just make sure you go through GUIPodcast.com. So at the very least, some of that money isn't going to Amazon. It's going to us instead.
Yeah.
He's not making
there you
any
go.
more money off of Amazon. He got like demoted or like fired, didn't he?
I mean, he's still making
He's
money.
still making
off of
money, yeah.
Amazon.
I'm sure he's gonna have a
Right.
percentage,
just
but he's
the-
not like running it anymore,
He's not
right?
the
He
CEO
probably
anymore.
holds the most shares, so yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's still Jeffrey Bezos.
He's still a big
or-
old penis.
Dr. Evil, as I like to call him.
Better way to support us, honestly, where you don't have to worry about Jeffrey Bezos and his bald head being shot into lower orbit is TeePublic. TeePublic. Place where you can get all the merch, pretty much all the merch, except our exclusive stuff we have at live events, which some of you actually maybe listening might have picked up a little bit of merch from
Sweet.
our table at VA Comic Con this past weekend, which, by the way,
Yes.
any new listeners that are listening to us that found us via VA Comic Con, welcome. I
To
hope
this shit show.
I wanted to say welcome at the beginning, but I figured I'd wait for the ones that stuck around for the second half.
Yeah.
The ones that are like, okay. I never thought about evil Lynn having to go to abortion clinic.
Yeah, now you do.
Right?
Now
Yeah,
I
there,
have to-
there you go.
Yeah.
You never know.
So thank you for sticking around for the second half. If you liked the merch that we had available at the con, there's plenty more, close to 40 designs available at TeePublic. Go to GUIPodcast.com/store, or just go to GUIPodcast.com and click on the store link. That'll send you right to the TeePublic page, where we've got close to 40 designs from this show, all the other shows of the network, as well as fun, weird designs from me and other people involved with the network. So,
Fun stuff, if you will.
fun stuff.
It's so much fun.
Very weird stuff. I one of my personal favorites is the Never Nude Doc Manhattan that we have.
Yeah.
That
was a fun one.
Tobias as Doc Manhattan is pretty good.
Is that what the Watchmen episode? Is that what that came from?
I think there was a Watchmen episode.
The
Yeah,
series.
yeah, that if it was on like FX instead of having like a blue dong hanging out, that'd be like the Never Nude shorts.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right.
That one. So
You want to know my favorite?
what's that?
My face on a pillow.
Yeah, I know. Why did I fall?
You're just taking
for that?
advantage of new listeners bringing
Yeah.
that up.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
Pillows are an option. So if you want to throw a pillow for your couch that has our face on it or any other designs, that is an option, as well as onesies for your children if you want to ruin them early.
Yeah.
True.
Or stickers, buttons, all sorts of stuff available. Just go to TeePublic through our links on our website, GUIPodcast.com. And that's our sponsors. That's it. Done.
Yay.
There
Now
you
we
go.
get into the things that really make this podcast go. It's not our jokes or our friendship, although that's helpful. It's a little thing called What We're Drinking.
Hey, we're fucking drinking. We're getting drunk. You want to know? Well, here you go. Hey,
We're drinking. We're getting drunk.
I still forget about the bow part. God damn it.
So I've been playing with my mixology a little bit, and so I apologize ahead of time if this doesn't turn out
Oh,
exactly
man.
the way I want.
fuck.
But I made a drink called the Orco for everybody at the table based on one of my personal favorite characters, and I guess you could guess why. It's one with the worst jokes.
True.
I did like that they preserved the dad jokes in He-Man.
Oh,
They
yeah.
definitely still have
Oh,
that.
fuck yeah.
But Orko is definitely the one that delivers more than anybody else. Every time he casts a spell, it's a dad joke.
Basically, yeah. All right.
It tastes like basically nothing.
It's just boozy.
It's a little boozy.
A little, it's a boozy liquid Jello shot.
I need something more to it. That was a mixture of flavored sparkling seltzer, strawberry mango flavored, but you could use any of the seltzers that you want, even unflavored.
This is clear, yeah.
with a shot of vodka apiece. So like 4 shots, so that'd be a shot apiece for all of us, with cranberry juice, lime, and grenadine was my mixture on this one, with a swivel stir. And it's drinkable. It's not.
I like drinkable. It won't murder you.
I'm not going to get like screamed at, but it's also a little too heavy-handed on the grenadine. Probably more lime would have helped this exponentially a little bit.
I would have done a rail rum. My personal favorite.
Yeah, I think the vodka's kind of kicking through. A little bit of
yeah. It's because vodka's so not bright but burny.
Yeah.
I guess is the right way to put it.
Yeah, I would say maybe don't do this version of it, but if you want to take the elements that I incorporated here and maybe do some different things to it.
Yeah.
Then
it's got some room for tweaking. I like the idea of having a GUI exclusive drink, Orco. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we just need to tighten up on what needs to happen to it. Good.
Now, we are going to move on to our next segment while we're sipping on my delicious beverage that I made for everybody.
Yes.
A little segment that some people love, some people hate, but at the end of the day, it's called Making a Drunken Scene.
Making a Drunken Scene.
But I decided to fuck with everybody in the world by not choosing anything from Revelation, but another He-Man property that,
to say the least,
is from maybe our generation, starring Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
We're talking about the live-action Masters of the Universe movie, and both scenes are from that movie because you're welcome. The first one is He-Man and Skeletor. Is there anybody that wants to...
Skeletor.
He-Man.
Cool. All right, well, that was easy. All right. And then, Scotty, do you want Skeletor or Sorceress? I'm cool with either.
Ooh, which would you prefer? I'll give you first choice. It's your show.
You know what? I did a female character the last episode, so if I could do Skeletor and you do Sorceress, I want to see how sultry you can get with Sorceress.
It will not be no Lena Headley, but I'll get sultry.
All right. Cool. So we got it down. So He-Man and Skeletor from 1987's Masters of the Universe, whenever you two are ready.
I have the power.
Fuck.
You will no longer stand between me and my destiny.
But I will. I told you that it's always between us.
I ache to smash you out of existence, to drive your cursed face from my memories forever.
Enough talk.
Yes, let this be our final battle.
What was happening there?
First off, it's Dolph Lundgren, not Stallone.
Hey,
True.
I mean, I've got the power, though, okay? Paulie said I have the power.
That's Dolph Lundgren. What's Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah.
It was...
Oh, no, I have the power. Fuck him.
Steven sounded
He killed
like
my buddy.
he was doing Jason Mewes doing the song from Clerks 2, like, Grandma, what was it like? Like
not at all came through my mind, but I just kind of wanted to do a higher...
Inspirato.
Well, it was either super deep or super high, depending on what you did, and you went deep. So.
Yeah.
Because I was going to do like a death...
Because if you
that
think
would
about
have been
it,
a lot better.
Canon did that. He did the Master Universe movie. They got Dolph Lundgren, but literally Stallone did the arm wrestling movie with Canon
Over the
literally
top, yeah.
right before that.
Oh, right.
So we could have had Stallone as He-Man. So, yeah.
Oh, God,
that would have
no.
been incredible.
I know.
With blonde hair?
Yeah.
whoa.
That'd have been terrible.
Speaking of incredible,
Yeah.
we've got Skeletor and Sorceress here with me and Scotty P. So, starting
Yeah.
with Mia Skeletor, we're going to get this going.
Do you hear, Sorceress? The final moment has come. All the forces of Grayskull, all the powers in the universe will be vested in me. Me! And all you will cease to exist.
It is not too late to undo this madness.
Madness! I demand of destitution, shame, and loneliness of scorn. It is my destiny. It is my right. Nothing will deter me from it.
Men who crave power.
God damn it.
Look back over the mistakes of their lives. Pile them all together. Call it destiny.
Thank you for that bit of philosophy, Sorceress. Here is my response.
Cling.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, sorceress, the sword of Grayskull, mine, now and forever.
He-Man is brought forward.
Your champion.
Dun, dun, dun.
You were all right. So, all right, you were like, I don't know if you saw me doing this. You were on the nose for Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill,
and
that's
I've
Yeah.
got.
Right,
I've
yeah.
got to say that is one of my least favorite things about it.
We've talked about it like
Yeah.
off mic, but I don't think he did a bad job with Skeletor.
It was
but
so.
it was so Mark Hamill Joker with a
Yeah.
little more
Yeah.
gravel to it that it was clearly Mark
and
Hamill.
he brought a little more in of the Skeletor aspect where he was, you know, the.
Well, there
but
was
that's
change
still-
of tones, but still, when you're sitting there, like if you look away from the show for a second while he's talking,
Joker.
yeah, it's totally Joker
too
from
close,
Batman
yeah.
animated series. You know,
That's why I appreciated him in Invincible, where he doesn't do.
Sound like
he just sounds.
Yeah.
It sounds like Mark Hamill,
Especially-
not Mark Hamill doing Joker.
As Scotty said
Exactly.
earlier when he says Lenny, that is such a fucking Joker thing to
Yeah.
say instead of
Holly, Holly,
yeah,
it was
Liddy.
it's the same
Yeah,
same
and I mean,
kind of vibe.
or when
Right.
if you watch the Flash on CW, Trickster, like he used that similar kind of voice, like he.
which was just
Yeah.
them finding a way to incorporate the Joker
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
action.
Oh,
with
yeah,
I
Mark
guess
Hamill.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like, look, all love for Mark Hamill. Like, let's not get it fucking twisted. I'm just saying, like, as far as voice acting goes, I don't know if he's range is wide enough when he has to do like extreme characters to not sound the same.
he has a decent range. It's just a matter of he's.
What has he done that defines his range?
Well,
I'm
actually,
curious.
after Star Wars, his big niche was doing like video games and voices for there. I think it's almost become a natural thing for him to have that go-to.
I don't
like you
disagree.
can tell the change in tones, but it's almost automatic for him. I want to say.
Yeah, someone should be like, hey man, work on that a little bit.
Right.
But I mean, in the same instance, we're talking about Skeletor from like the animated series where he was so over the top villainy sounding. I mean, what's Mark Hamill? Unless he utterly changed everything, it's going to come out pretty close to Joker.
Also, the executive fucking producer is Kevin Smith. So the moment that he got Mark Hamill in the booth to do Skeletor, and Mark Hamill was like,
He-Man, oh, Harley.
and he's like, fuck it, yeah, let's do that. Just
Oh, yeah.
sitting there
Are
and
you
just
going to tell him no? Yeah.
jerking his dick, being like, I've got Mark Hamill doing the Joker voice for Skeletor. Fuck it, this is perfect. I love it.
What other
Which-
choice would you want him to make, though?
But also, same. If I was in his
It's up to the
position,
voice
I'd been
actor
like,
to pop
yep,
it out.
don't change a fucking thing. I just want to watch you do that voice.
You ask what else you want him to do. It's not up for. It's like the voice actors, at least from my knowledge, they show up and they do
Well, that's
multiple
what-
takes
I'm
to
just
get the
curious.
voice right.
I'm curious
So
what level.
and actual voice actors, they can do anything
Yeah.
with their voice. So
Well,
it's not like it's
and-
a go-to.
Right. And some of them are niche. Like if you think about it, with Tara Strong from Miss Minute from Loki, that is very much Harley Quinn for a lot of the way she talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just put a slight more Southern accent on it.
I'll throw out a suggestion I would have liked
well.
to hear as a voice of Skeletor. Fucking Clancy Brown.
Oh,
Just like a deep
yes.
fucking
Yeah.
Skeletor. Yeah.
Well,
like a
Yeah.
That's-
grumpy grandfather voice.
Yeah.
Skeletor.
that's who I.
Yeah.
That's who at
Just
first who I
burnt the
thought was
fuck
doing
out.
Who has
Beastman.
awakened me from my slumber?
But it was shit. What's it? I don't have IMDb pulled up. I mean, I was going to say that in general, the voice acting has been phenomenal, even though the voices didn't always match who we thought. But the voice acting, but Clancy Brown, I think it was Beastman, but it was another guy who can do a very similar voice. He's done similar voices and some voice acting as well.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it would have been nice to see that different, completely tonal shift with Skeletor. But I'll tell you who actually fucking nailed it was the guy who voiced Battle Cat Cringer. Office Space. Hey, I'm my stapler. Like,
Yeah.
Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Man in the High Castle. Sorry, I got to give him props for his recent shit.
Yeah,
Fucking
Man in the
awesome.
High Castle,
But, like,
beautiful.
Him as fucking
Barry.
Cringer. Huh?
Barry.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched Barry.
I haven't watched Barry yet
so-
either.
Also,
So.
Liam Cunningham.
You act
who-
like everyone's fucking watched
he
Barry.
Was,
Yeah.
Liam Cunningham was Devros in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
him as Man in the Arms
Yes.
was the best. He
Fucking great.
hands down.
Fucking beautiful.
I gotta say, my favorite character, if anyone hasn't guessed, out of this new series, is Man in Arms. He is fucking
And
awesome.
just finding out now
Right.
that Roboto was voiced
Justin Long.
by Justin
fucking
Long.
Yeah.
Dude, you did. Dude, as soon as I found that out and I was doing my rewatch today, I'm sitting there going,
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root.
Stephen
yeah,
Root.
Like him
Okay.
as Cringer was like perfect. Dude.
right.
Like it really was. it fit.
Honestly, the most out of place voice
I have no idea who the fuck he is.
that we talked about was Sarah Michelle Gellar as great.
Tila?
She's a great actress. She could do voiceover work. It just did not fit with Tila.
Some of the scenes, like when she was supposed to something like ecstatic, it was so lazy. It felt.
Well, the intense stuff like should have been like more of like a, I don't have fear. I don't have fear.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it felt just timid and lazy. And
right.
And maybe it's because I do a lot of editing. I feel like a lot of people actually recorded in a similar studio, so the levels were relatively the same. I mean, adjusted for their volume, but I feel like Tila's voice specifically felt like it was recorded in a different studio with different inputs on it.
It was.
Actually, I found out during some of the, I think it was some of the stuff that they have on Netflix about where they talk to the people. The very first episode was able to be done in the studio, but then COVID hit and they all had to record at like home studios or certain other studios they couldn't record together.
So I don't.
So there is a difference after the first episode.
She says something about her husband actually taking like a workout room and turning it into a recording
Mr. Freddie
studio.
Prinze Jr.
And I think I want to reserve judgment on her. I mean, there's definitely some inflections that could have been a little bit better, but it might have actually been the recording style of her audio that makes it sound a little bit like it would be something that anybody that hasn't worked with audio wouldn't even register as being different.
So is that what I'm hearing?
I think it might be.
Because there are times she sounds restrained. And scenes when she should be either like super loud. You know what I mean? Like, I forget. She did something where it was like, this isn't, what she said, but it was like, let's go. And it was just like.
Well, there's something to be said for being remote away from the engineer that is helping you.
There's that dialogue director that pretty much gets everybody on the same beats of a conversation.
And they're doing the scene with them.
Yeah. Or just even telling them, okay, so you're talking to them in this situation. They didn't really have that in person.
Yeah.
I mean, it was communicated, but without knowing the beats of the conversation, you're just going to say it the way you say
so
it.
I'm going to go ahead and give her, not necessarily pass, but like some understanding
just
on
give pause on
right. Well, and that's what I mean. It's not a matter of, it's great quality work she does.
I wasn't annoyed by it.
No, but it just felt like it didn't fit.
Exactly.
Was the main thing.
Anything.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Also, a little side note: Griffin Newman was the voice of Orko, and if you don't know that name, that's reasonable. He hasn't done a lot of stuff, but he was Arthur in the newest version of The Tick that was on Amazon Prime.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
So that's where he's best known from. But he also has a podcast called you'll have to look it up because it shows on not our network don't exist.
Yeah.
So
true.
Very immature Hobbit.
Okay, it's called Blank Check, and actually I'm gonna look it up later. So.
Yeah, I was saying like I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, no, I'm totally gonna check it out. I'm just trying to fuck around, but
we already mentioned Lena Headey.
Lena Headey.
Yeah.
Yes.
As far as because we didn't really dive into the voice, but you're right. What's his face is
that should be key for this because again, overall the people who did the voiceovers top notch shit.
They fucking killed Orko. They killed him.
I know.
No, he sacrificed.
No, well, I mean, Kevin Smith killed Orko.
Yeah.
And which actually is also a good name for the episode.
Right.
But,
I was about to say, Kevin
that's
Smith
too much
killed
spoilers
Orko.
in the episode title, but maybe
and it's also rough.
Yeah.
Maybe a shirt design. But
Silent Bob
killed Orko. But
sorry,
the thing is
I found that way too funny.
In the moment where he died, he had more relevance than he ever had in anything that had ever happened before that in Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure that I'm glad that has been brought up because Orko, I think all of us loved Orko to an extent.
Well, no, he was annoying as fuck.
Right. But during
so am I. So
well, I know we do tolerate you, but during the original show, he was kind of like that buffoon, but sometimes his magic worked for the better of whatever was happening with the story arc. But this one, and I think we even talked about it like randomly as a group, because the showrunners talk, is just even in the trailer, just showing all of a sudden he was fucking badass. And that's what Orko needed.
Well, he still
did.
have it in me.
Yeah, exactly.
He found a purpose. I mean, because look, when we run into him after the first episode, he's just fucking slack ass roomie with fucking Man of Arms. All right, like he's just like they're whittling away. There's
he's
no
not slack
magic.
ass. He's dying, fucker.
I know,
right?
Yeah,
Like there's a difference.
well,
no,
but he got
no.
booted out of the castle. You know, obviously
he was dying. Okay, he like until he got his magic juice, he was like.
But he's kind
decrepit
of
old
tagging
man.
along, making a few comments, but it's not really till him and Evil Lynn get transported where you get that backstory where you start to go,
Right.
oh, okay, like, all right, now I'm starting to learn about this character.
Yeah.
and-
Do you see how the costume changed from like when he's in the castle, he's like a full wizard robe, and then after the
Right.
fact, he's like trying to walk around swole in a fucking like wife beater. Like he's like
Right.
got his guns out. He's like, ugh.
Dieseling it up.
Yeah.
Well, and that was
Or
one of the
goes
great
Diesel.
things. Shit.
Or goes Diesel.
Or is Diesel. But that was one of the great things because again,
It's all about
with all those
Eternia.
80 oh Jesus, with all
does
those
talk about
80
family.
shows,
Yeah, he
all
does.
the costumes stayed
Oh,
the
fucking
same.
A.
None of them changed. But in this one, you saw the progression, like Man at Arms, how like even his shirt was just like patched together with other fabric.
They're almost to the point of apocalyptic state.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is fucking Eternia Fury Road. Like this is like
Yeah.
borderline, not quite there. It's actually more like the
Except
first
with
Mad
water,
Max.
it's magic water,
Yeah,
right?
It's like the first Mad Max where
Exactly.
like the world hasn't fully
It's
gone
just
into
starting.
disarray, but it's starting to.
I hope in part 2 there's like a little bit of a time gap, and then we get actual Road Warrior and Eternia
where like Skeletor has been in charge
for like a little bit, and he's like, "Fuck shit," but
yeah.
dude, oh, talk about really taking it to the next level.
Shiny and chrome.
And that's. Oh fuck! You threw me off on that one. God damn it! Shit. I was gonna say that's where you get your tank with the feet. That's all chromed out,
You're
baby.
right, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so it's like,
But, like,
stomping around.
If they don't pick it up right after, and he has that time gap, and it shows how much he can fuck stuff up being a master of the universe. Like
Right.
that would be such. Talk about taking it to the next level of actually expanding the world and the story. Where
Yes.
not only does the bad guy win one day, he also gets to fuck shit up
Yeah.
while he's
Right.
after he's
I throw
won.
it out there. It's going to be like, part of Back to the Future 2 when Biff takes over.
Yeah.
Where, literally, like, everything's
Right.
fucked up. And
Everything's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it like that.
Skeletor
Yeah.
shows up
This
with
casino.
like clearly a comb over.
a receding
Oh,
pompadour.
can we get Beastman with a cowboy hat like fucking Billy Zane? Yes. There you are.
But at least like whenever it corrects itself, and whether it be Tila or He-Man does it or whatever, and he wins, Skeletor's got to like just belt out a blast.
I blasted her. It was in my palms.
You brought up a good point, though. As much as they've been leading in part 1, I'm waiting for the part where Tila gets to break badass once they finalize that she is a daughter of the sorceress.
She broke badass.
No, as daughter of the sorceress
and a man of tech,
and
like,
where she's
They
going to come
alluded
in,
to it.
she's going to come in correct with Eternia and be like, "This is our planet,
Let
motherfucker."
her discover her fucking power.
Right.
Man
exactly.
at Arms is like, since I promised I wouldn't lie to you again. Story for another time, motherfucker.
Yeah,
You're right.
Well,
God damn it.
that even goes back to Scareglow was like something is different about you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just a typical Eternia type person.
Well, is what's
you
her
know?
face? Is that?
That's some fucking end of Guardians of the Galaxy. You're not just a fucking Terran bullshit.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like-
exactly.
Like, he wants your daddy. Oh God. No, but
Now all I need is Orko being like,
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
oh God.
taking somebody out of Subternia.
We just need to cross all the streams. Just cross all the
Right.
streams.
Well, apparently anything's canon now for the multiverse. So
Yeah.
Fuck it.
we can do anything.
The ultimate GUI crossover episode.
So who do we think Tila's mom is? Is it the one wizard, the one sorceress?
Well,
that was
that was in the original
Yeah.
series. That
Yeah.
the sorceress from Grayskull. That's Tila's mom.
Yeah.
Well, and it alludes to Man at Arms.
Man at
being
Arms
the
fucked a
sorceress.
bird lady.
Yeah, that's where that's
whatever. I mean,
Hey, when in Eternia.
before she got old from trying to protect it. I mean, she
What
wasn't
happens
bad
in
looking.
Eternia stays
Exactly,
in Eternia.
right.
Sorceresses
exactly.
need dick too.
Dude,
well,
you
She's
know.
alone in a castle with a fucking skeleton mouth. Like she needs somebody to put their mouth on her. bird
No, you can't make. You
vagina.
can't make it. You can't make it
I
work.
can't make it work.
But they even alluded to that in the original show of Man at Arms and the sorceress kind of being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
what's happening?"
That's all they can do is
you
allude.
know?
They're
Yeah,
not
that's what
going
he
to
was
show
saying. So,
anything
like,
else.
But the fact that it was actually going to come out, and I was like, God damn it! Can you just fucking?
Can you imagine he
Right.
like walks out of his house, he's pulling feathers out of different places.
Oh, no.
What'd you just do? Don't worry about it.
I feel like actually the way that they're gonna sum this up is because that's the big reveal for her. Everybody else, everybody
Spoilers.
knows. Man-at-Arms knows. Fucking Bird Wizard knows. Like everybody knows.
Bird Girl.
Bird Girl.
Birdwitch knows. That's going to be the big reveal to her, and that's when Quill in Guardians 2 starts to get in line with her power and stuff.
She's going to have an Infinity Stone?
But it's going to be like in like Thor in Marvel, where it's like the power was within you the whole time. It wasn't the Mjolnir, where they don't need the orb to come back to bring magic back, because she just needs to realize her fucking birdness to like bring magic back.
What if he just Man-at-Arms just had a thing for sorceresses, and it was Evil Lyn, and she's just so disassociated with the power that she doesn't even acknowledge and really try to connect with Tila.
He probably likes the bad girls too. I mean,
I'm saying, what if he just had a thing
that's
for...
where you have like a paler version of Tila that shows up and just like, yeah, Man-at-Arms fucked all the sorceresses back in the day.
Yeah.
Cocaine was a problem in Eternia back in the day.
It was the 80s, to be fair.
Yeah, it was.
He invented a machine that made cocaine. I mean, it's just always there.
Oh shit!
They went to Studio Triclops and
well, what do you think? Because Man-at-Arms did kind of have that dish thing in front of him. What do you think it was filled with? I mean, it's just he had just been down every so often. And
what is the point of that giant dish anyway? It's like this giant triangle
to
thing.
hold his cocaine.
Yeah,
no, but I meant seriously. What was the point? It seems like an obstruction that would hinder.
He's like,
fighting.
at arms. What do you think I'm armed with? Cocaine.
Yeah, ready to go all the time.
Do you see the flips I do, bitch?
Right.
Have you seen the giant fucking laser that he builds because he has the energy to wipe out the whole
That's why the army
bad
was
guy?
impossible to beat, is because they were all just fully jacked on cocaine. Just fully.
The Eternian Royal Guard high on cocaine
All of them.
whole time.
Lousy with it. And not cut. It wasn't.
Oh no!
It wasn't
Pure
cut.
raw
it was
Colombian bang
pure.
bang.
Raw.
We're
It
talking
was
about
cross Subternian bang bang.
We're talking about magic cocaine. All right, that shit lasts for days. All
That's
right.
it. I like that one.
Subternian bang bang. All right, I feel that's a good note for us to finish out here, because
shit.
we're right at the tail end
Oh,
here. We
man.
could absolutely
We
wax
could
more
go on a
poetic.
whole nother episode.
But the plus side is there is a second half that
yes,
no matter the haters, the viewership on this show has been significant. Netflix is definitely going to have a second half happening.
fuck the haters.
So is the ratings because of the haters? Because it's like a 4.7 when I looked yesterday on IMDb.
Yeah, that's the haters. That's the haters.
The
fucking it
problem
up.
is that there's going to be such a huge fluctuation, and then it's going to be, because what normally happens with shit like this is that you have the little fanboys going, it's not He-Man in a loincloth and whatever. Give it about another month when the actual people sit down, watch it, ignore the other motherfuckers like we do.
It'll level out.
Right.
I feel
Yeah,
like
it's Master Universe. I don't give a fuck.
I feel like all four of us are just saying, just give it a chance. You know, like,
exactly, for sure.
Remember that it's Masters of the Universe. One, please, going into it, and then watch the world building.
Well, and also remember that it's people that have created this were people that are the same as us, that grew up. Not, and I'm not even saying Kevin Smith. What was it? The main guy that did all this was like pushed Mattel and other people to do a proper He-Man sequel to the series.
Yeah,
for like over a decade.
And I think, if I'm not, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the original series is on Hulu.
It's available somewhere for sure.
Available
when I say remember it's Masters of the Universe, if you forget, go back and rewatch a couple episodes,
and then
just to understand,
right?
Yeah,
because I feel like, I think that's a real thing. I think not us, but I think people. There's some people that like it's so built up that they don't actually remember what the content was.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's part of it too.
Well, and go back, because again, internet.
Yeah,
you could go back and check all the mythos and then really see what this show has done to include the mythos that wasn't in the original show.
It was there though.
Pulling stuff from the comics. There was
the
stuff where they
series.
again Scareglow, the castle and pre-Eternia, the heaven was only a toy as well. It wasn't anywhere else.
Oh yeah, the
castle part, with the like the lion's mouth or whatever it was, where they made the blah blah blah. It was all stuff that now is properly included in the universe that wasn't before. It was just a toy.
He's just making the toys canon.
Yeah,
that's
right.
And that's
Exactly.
what I was gonna say is the second half. Man, there's so many characters we did not see the first. I want to see giant bee dude. What's his fucking name? Buzz Off.
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
Buzz Off.
Buzz
we,
Aldrin.
We did not see Ram Man.
Ram Man.
Oh,
And that's what I'm saying.
yes.
We didn't
I
see
want-
Manny Faces. Oh, we didn't see Manny Faces.
We didn't see Manny Faces.
Dude.
Fuck.
I want Scuba Steve. I want all of them. I want
You motherfucker.
But no, I don't know, for some reason, like, I love that character in the original animated series.
Manny
It was
Faces.
Manny Faces.
Yeah.
He was just fucking awesome.
Look, that's a fucking Jesus Christ. That's a perfect example. If you were taking this series,
Manny Faces.
Manny Faces is the name of the character that has many faces. Fuck off. Like,
Right.
you don't
What are
get,
your expectations with
you
that?
don't get to be that mad about this.
You don't.
They didn't
you
take the
really,
shit
you really
seriously.
don't.
All right, so that's a good place to fucking cut it. I want to hear what you're excited about on the second half of Masters of the Universe Revelation. There's so much still. They
Very much
expanded the universe so much, and even so, there's still so much more they can do with it on the second half. So I really hope that this isn't the end of it. I hope there's a 3, 4, 5, 6. on
Fingers
this.
crossed.
But that means that people gotta fucking calm down.
Yeah, people need
True.
to chill the fuck out, man.
And
Give
this is-
actual reviews. That's all.
Do legit reviews.
We're
please.
recording this like less than a week after it came out. So
Yeah, like literally 5 days.
Right.
I guarantee within a few weeks of this coming out, people are gonna actually like not worry about the reviews and actually
I
look
hope
at it,
so.
and there's gonna be a response of like, no, wow, this is actually surprisingly good. I don't know why it got such bad ratings, and there's gonna be a major response.
And judge it on what you watch, not who is involved, other than the voice actors. I would say, judge the voices, because what we've said has been pretty similar to some of the legitimate reviews I've seen.
I'm pretty
But
sure.
watch it for what it is.
I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan is Kevin Smith's Skeletor, and
Fuck
he just
Joe
sends...
Rogan. Sorry, personal opinion.
Yeah, no, fair
I'm
enough.
sorry.
Okay, let's finish this out. Thank you so much
Yes.
for listening. We appreciate you sticking around for all this fucking nonsense. we
Oh,
went through.
yes.
But love the series. We want to hear what you think about it. So check out GUIPodcast.com for all the links for our social media. Check out the previous episodes, other shows on the network. Rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell your friends. Share on social media. That is the best way for us to get out to other people, is you sharing these episodes for other people. I'm going to find you next time. I have the power. I'm Mike the Hobbit. Join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit!
Jesus Christ.
Motherfucker.
I have the power.
Join us or die! Join us or die! Or I will swallow your soul!
GUIPodcast.com.
This one time I fucked a bird woman.